That's what we've been talking about since the start of the season, just finishing throughout the entire week. And that's what we emphasized, and, we got the op to finish, and we did it.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy and breezy for tonight with occasional showers and a low close to 40. We'll look for more clouds for tomorrow, a pop-up shower or two possible and still breezy. A high near 50. A return to sunshine for Thursday and Friday, high low 50s. It's 46 right now.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, Robert Kennedy Jr. says America is under-babied. What can we do to encourage more?
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy whose house has an actual wiggle room, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Night Light, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you with me. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Another crazy fall night here. Overcast, blustery, as they used to say in Winnie the Pooh, if I can quote Winnie the Pooh. But a beautiful fall night here in northeast Wisconsin. Hope it is gorgeous where you are, too. I'm sure it is because we're in Wisconsin. This is a weekend-like state of mind we have all week here in our beautiful state. So hope you're having a great day. Welcome to Night Light. Great show tonight. Really fun guests. Conrad is here. Conrad, are you here?
I am here.
I thought so.
How's your M doing?
It's still not. It's better, which means it's a little better, which means it was probably a piece of food, a crumb that keeps getting crushed a little more.
Some gelato.
Every time I hit the M key. So it's better. It's functional. I'm not going to go out and buy a new computer, but if this persists, I'll have to take it to my pal Paul, who takes care of all my computer needs. And I usually just throw him a gift card. What do you do when a friend helps you out?
I have a friend that's helped me out with computers all the time. He built my PC for me.
I don't even know how to talk to people like that.
I don't
they can
either.
build a computer. That's insanity.
I have no idea. And then when he's trying to help me fix it over the phone, he's like, "Oh, do this and do this." I'm like, I don't understand what any of that means.
What's a space bar? But it's a little better. Thank you for asking. On behalf of my letter M. Well, I can't even type anymore. It used to be I can't write because those muscles are gone because I type. So when I write, my penmanship looks like I'm in second grade. But now I can't even type anymore because I will use voice any chance I get. It's the epitome of laziness. It's just me clicking twice on function and going, in the Hollywood beats, blah, blah, blah. And it never translates perfectly. I always have to go back and change things, but I would rather do that than sit there and type. And I'm a writer. I've been typing for the last 25 years. I just can't do it anymore.
My favorite thing is when you voice text me, and you say the line twice that you meant to say because you don't know if it said it, and then it comes in twice.
I'll do that, and then I'll try to fire off a voice text in here during a commercial, like to a potential guest or something, and half of the message from the commercial that's playing will play during the voice. So it'll be like, hey, Rob, can you be on the now at a Chevy dealers? We have 20% off. Like, just, it makes no sense. So, but all is good. Tonight is a fun show, folks. You're here on a great night. My pal Jimmy Pardo is here at 6:35. Jimmy and I he started a little bit before me in stand-up, but back in the extremely late 1980s, we both started doing stand-up, became fast friends, and he is one of my oldest friends in the biz, and just a great guy. He'll be here at 6:35. He's the host of the Never Not Funny podcast. Very few times, ladies and gentlemen, that a double negative is so effective, but it is when it comes to Jimmy's podcast. It's very funny. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. And Jimmy is also a hilarious stand-up comedian. Have you ever seen Jimmy stand-up?
I haven't.
Very, like, stream of consciousness, off the cuff, really funny stuff. He's like a comic, just a hilarious guy. He'll be here at 6:35. Great fun. And then at 7:35, Rex Sykes, the co-founder of the I have to pull this up. I always get this confused. I think of the Million Man March. But this is Mission 1 Billion. This is a group Rex co-founded. It's a huge networking organization that meets once a week in Milwaukee, and they're having a big event tomorrow, and TV executive Rocky Wagenhurst will be speaking there tomorrow. So both guys are going to be on the show tonight, so that'll be good fun. Rocky's had a very interesting career, as has Rex, so they will both be along at 7:35 to tell us about this fun event. If you are in the business or want to make a movie or get involved in TV, this sounds like the event for you and the organization for you, as you will probably go there and meet people that could be instrumental and build a little network for yourself. It looks like a really fun event. So we'll learn more at 7:35. Got a fun question tonight. Did you watch any baseball last night?
I did watch a little bit. I watched football because, I mean, the Brewers are out, so I'm like, still a little sad.
Yeah.
So watching baseball hurts a little bit.
Sure. I get it.
But that was a crazy win that the Blue Jays had.
I watched, I'm all about the YouTube highlights lately, and I watched that today while I was eating lunch, and man, those Toronto fans are electric.
Yeah. That home run when he hit that.
Oh, it reminds me, one of my favorite sports moments involves the Toronto Blue Jays, and it was when Joe Carter, I think it was in the early or mid-90s, hit a home run. I think it was to win the World Series, and his face, like, if fireworks could be a face, it was Joe Carter. He hit this home run, and he's just doing this and running around the bases. It was a great sports moment. So I think, I told you yesterday, I went to a lot of Dodger games when I lived in L.A. Took my son. His first favorite team was the Dodgers, and I was going for the Brewers. I thought I'll root for the Dodgers in the World Series, but I think I'm going for the Blue Jays. The city is just a great city, and I love LA too. But like the city of Toronto, great fans, and a fun team to watch too. Probably spent a lot more or a lot less than the Dodgers too.
I think they're like fourth in payroll or something.
Are they really?
I mean, they're still pretty high up there.
Wow. Okay. Well, it should be a good series at the very least, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Bruce Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere opens this weekend. Finally, I've been reading stuff about this for a year, talking a little bit about it on this show. So I'm excited to see the film, and I think Jeremy Allen White will be a good boss. He looks the part, certainly in the trailers I've seen. I'll do a Hollywood beat that we'll record tomorrow, probably start playing on Thursday to talk about upcoming movies like I do every week here, and that will definitely be one of them. So I'm excited to see what the critics have to say, and I'm excited to see the film. That should be fun. Lots of stuff going on. I think I sent you that clip.
Yep.
I love, I used to not like it when people in Saturday Night Live would break and start laughing. But the Heidi Gardner thing with Beavis and Butthead,
it's a classic.
It's unbelievable. One of the greatest moments in Saturday Night Live ever. But I hated, like, when Jimmy Fallon was on the show, the sketch would start, and within 20 seconds, he'd just be cracking up. I'm like, why is he on the show? Put him in the studio audience. If he thinks it's so funny, when it happens all the time, it's not. But these guys, Fred Armisen and who was the other guy? Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, yeah.
So funny as these two guys doing this They're like doing this like accent. I don't even know what kind of accent it is. But they're telling a story to this kid about Santa Claus, and Armiston starts out talking about Santa Claus, or talking about a snowman, and how he doesn't have legs, he has a snowball. And the kid is hilarious. I know that's a visual thing. You can't see the kid, but he's hilarious. But Armiston is telling this story in this crazy accent, and Hader breaks. And then Jamie Foxx is in it, and he's just trying not to laugh, laughing at these guys. So I think this is worth playing on the radio alone enough, just for the audio comedy in it. Here's a clip I found today that's kind of old. I just found it today, though, from Saturday Night Live.
Sally, come here. Do you know the story of Rodolfo, the reindeer?
Yes, we know it very well.
His nose was like no other deer. Yeah, it was electric. It light up like a big red cigarette.
Right.
Yeah, and Santa Claus said, I'm having trouble looking to see her driving the sleigh at night time. So he said, Rodolfo, there is something special about you. And Rodolfo said, who, me? He goes, yeah, I'm talking to you. And Rodolfo said, no, I'm like the other deer. He goes, no, you're not. They don't have a regular nose. They're black. They're just there for a smell.
Oh, yeah, he knows. Could you get us a cab?
I'll get it, but first listen to this story about Santa Claus. It's going to blow your mind.
Okay, so Santa Claus, he says, I'm going to put Rodolfo in the front, not in the back. the light was just lighting up. So Santa Claus was using his brain. You like that story?
Oh, my gosh, there's our cab. Thanks, Alexi.
Christmas.
Okay, make it fast.
Once a bunch of children got together and they said, hey, from the snow, let's make a person. So they made this. They make this person, and for his legs, they make a big ball of snow. And for his belly, they make a smaller ball.
You see, some snowmen are made of 2 balls. Yeah. And then this one is made of 3 balls. Frosty, 3 balls. Yeah.
Anyway, the kids, they take...
I just love hearing people lose it. And Fred Armisen obviously was doing some type of Hispanic accent, but what was Bill Hader was like, it was like half Dutch, half, that was so bizarre, but it cracked me up. I love people breaking up. All right, I think it's time we get to our Nightlight question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Questions.
It is National Back to the Future Day. What era would you like to travel back to? National Back to the Future Day, great movie. What era would you like to travel back to? 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can also text us on the app. Drop us a text. Over the app is really easy, folks. Nightlight is on in many markets. Whatever station you're listening to, statewide, just click on the little text button and you're all set. Almost as easy as the phone. And then if you're watching the radio on the stream, you can drop us a stream comment if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or X. I'm getting used to calling it X, Con.
I still call it Twitter. Anytime.
I do casually, but it's just like, is it a battle I want to fight? I hate it either way. But I don't know.
Just like I'll never call it AmFam, you know?
What do you call it?
Miller Park.
Yeah, Miller Park is a good one. What happened there? Miller just said, no, sorry,
yeah,
it's not for us anymore.
You know,
or what?
I think there was some numbers that were like, I don't agree with that.
It's too much? Okay. County Stadium. Those days are long gone.
Yeah.
Soldier Field, County Stadium, local ballpark. Like there's just too many. There's too much money to be made. It's too bad because those are Veterans Park, you know, all those great stadiums. But let us know, folks, what era would you like to travel back to? I'm going to say the 1940s. Right after World War II, gin joints popping up, jazz music. And that's when the beats started. Like Kerouac started writing about taking his pension from the military and just traveling America to see what people were up to. Doing things very unconventionally. But even those that did things conventionally could still go to see jazz. And I don't know, it seemed like a great time in America. I'm romanticizing it, of course. Every era had their problems. I almost said the 50s, but I think I'd go back to like the mid to late 40s. What about you, Ken?
I said the medieval times because I think I can make a good knight.
Think so, huh?
Or a jester.
You'd have great hair, according to Eric Ratz.
Probably, live a short life, but
yeah, you could. I hate the medieval times on every level. I hate going to the hotel in Vegas. I hate the 7-course meal where you go and they come in, they call everybody ye and do that kind of stuff. I just have no use for it.
I'd just be in the middle of nowhere, just free with 2 coins.
As a knight? All right, let us know what era you would like to travel back to, folks. It's National Back to the Future Day. Jimmy Pardo is here at 6:35. Lots of fun tonight. Glad you're here. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love. It's too late.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW. As Wisconsin
I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite, celebrating the glory that is Tuesday night here tonight. Great to have you here. We have a great question tonight. It is National Back to the Future Day. Great movie. And it got me thinking, where would you travel to if you could go to a certain time, whether it's in our own country's history or before the United States even existed? Conrad picked the medieval times because he wanted to be tortured in that stretching machine, I guess.
Yeah, well, no, I'd be a knight and I'd represent the king.
Yeah.
I'd King's Guard,
You'd be total establishment.
And then on my side gig is being a jester for the king as well.
You have to put your sword down and pull out the microphone. All right, that works. I said that the late 1940s, like when gin joints and jazz clubs started opening up after World War II, that must have been a great time to be here. We survived a terrible, terrible time, potential threat. You could argue America's in a pretty bad place right now. Maybe we'll come out of this even better. Who knows? But that's where I would go if I had a choice. I don't think I'd go back to the 1800s or even before the Depression. It was kind of seemed like maybe a cool time in America. But the 50s, there was a lot going on. The interstates were being built. Houses were affordable. 60s, there was all this crazy stuff happening. 70s as well. I don't know.
Couldn't you go to one of the I don't know what the handy stores were back then, but you could go down the house aisle and pick out a house to be built.
I'll take that one. A nice 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Well, all the houses were small. I think that's when a lot of people started going to California. They had all these 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes in decent weather, and they were affordable back then.
Yeah. Would you do what Biff did?
Biff. Oh, yeah, Biff from Back to the Future.
And would you go back in time, knowing your knowledge now of betting on games?
Yeah, I would.
I definitely would do it.
I mean, it's kind of cheating, but
I mean,
who are you really hurting?
Yeah.
The bookies. But I mean, they're probably still going to make money because enough people are going to not make money. I would do it smart though. I wouldn't try to clean out the house. Yeah, I would make it's like in The Sting. You have to take them and not let him ever know you took him. You can't gloat. You just place those bets and you make a cool $1 million a year.
Wow, what a lucky guess.
Yeah, wow, this guy's on it. Yeah, so Conrad said the medieval times, a gesture / night. That's like saying when I grow up, I want to be a cop and a professional football player.
Yeah, why not?
When you're a kid. Rob Momart says, if it was like the Flintstones, I would definitely visit the Stone Age. Sadly, it was not as not accurate as portrayed on TV. Yeah, there was no animation back then either, Rob, which would have affected Rob's art. What do you think Rob would have done?
It would have been cool to do the, you run to make the car move.
That seems like a lot of work to me. Kind of like the push button start myself.
But once you get it going down that hill.
Yeah, with no brakes. It's not too bad. Thank you, Rob. Daniel Wheeler says, I'll ride shotgun with Conrad in the DeLorean and go back to medieval times. I could probably get a job painting portraits of wealthy landowners and save up my coins to buy a goat.
Nice.
Daniel feels it's worth traveling back then to have a goat.
So I'll see him back in medieval times. I'll protect his goat because I'm a knight.
Or you'll make his goat laugh as a gesture.
Exactly.
Okay. Comedian Vince Morano says, any day where a company like Apple or McDonald's stock became available. Yeah, that's kind of like the Biff thing. It's interesting. I have friends who bought stock in IBM and made a lot of money, and I have friends that did not buy stock. What was it? Xerox. They missed it. They were going to do it, and they didn't, and they missed out on a fortune. So that could probably be equally as frustrating, I would think. My pal Sean on social media says the 1940s, with any luck, I'd be the pushiest and most successful prophylactic salesman in Queens, New York. Wow, that's a different kind of creepy. Hey, anybody want to buy a rubber? Who's buying from a guy like that?
Going down the street.
Yeah, walking door to door.
Rubbers for sale.
Yeah. Try to sell the housewives rubbers. That's they're stuck home with a bunch of kids. Maybe they'd be your best customers. I don't know. Lil Irv on the stream says 1984 with enough money to buy Apple, Oracle, Microsoft, Amazon, something, Facebook, Tesla, and Bitcoin.
NVIDIA.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure it's just a technology brand, I believe.
I don't think
it's in my PC.
Is it? So it's still,
but I don't know what it does.
Okay, it's
there.
The key is what you got to do is buy low and sell high. That's the one thing I've learned as a numbers guy. That's the numbers guy. Edward from the 414 says the 90s. I was in my 20s. It wouldn't even be fair. Yeah, the 90s were pretty good too. Yeah, the dot-com boom. The economy was great. Pretty good music. And it was before smartphones. I like that. Like, I had a cell phone in the 90s. It was like a flip phone. Realistically, that's all I needed. Have a few chats when you're in the car. I don't need everything at my fingertips. That's kind of what I like about the 90s and early 2000s. Thank you, Edward. Brett in Brown Deer says, I'll go back to the 60s and go to Woodstock and see how bad the brown acid was. I knew somebody was going to say or make a reference to that. I wouldn't even know what to do. Like if I was, what would you do if you're at a concert and all of a sudden you're around a bunch of nude people?
I don't know.
It's just kind of like, Steve. Well, let's save Conrad's dad's text for when we come back. Jimmy Pardo is here, folks. After the news, that'll be fun. Catching up with Jim. I've got a lot of cool stuff to ask Jimmy. He's got a lot of different interests, and he's always fun. And he'll probably make fun of my shirt again, like he did last time. Stick around and find out. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
More than that, you know there's nothing more than that. Tell me one thing more than that. Ooh, there's nothing.
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
From the 97.9 WGBW newsroom, I'm Stuart J. Waddles with this local news update. Green Bay drivers may want to add some travel time this week due to highway projects closing lanes. The Department of Transportation says to expect lanes to be closed on the Tower Drive Bridge through Wednesday. Both north and southbound lanes will be closed on 41 in De Pere between 7 at night until 5 the next morning through Thursday. You can see more about the closures on the DOT's website. An 18-year-old Suring man was killed after hitting a deer in Oconto County over the weekend. Sheriff's deputies say the crash happened at just after 10 Friday night on County Highway B in Oconto Falls. Authorities say the man lost control after hitting the deer, rolled several times into the ditch, and was ejected from the car. Deputies say he was taken to a Green Bay hospital where he later died. Port Washington city leaders are moving tonight's Common Council meeting to a bigger space as debate grows over a massive data center project near 43. The meeting starts at 6:30 at the Lepanto Banquet Center on East Seven Hills Road. Crowds have packed meetings for months with people raising concerns about cost, energy use, and water demands. Supporters say it could mean new jobs and investment. It's a done deal for Festival Foods. The grocery chain now has an out-of-state owner. Todd Schnuck, chairman and CEO of Schnuck Markets, announced closing on the purchase of Festival Foods and Hometown Grocers this week. The newly formed 1939 group based in St. Louis now has 164 stores. That total includes the Festival Foods and Hometown Grocers, along with 2 other grocery chains. The company has said Festival Foods and Hometown Grocers will continue flying under their own banners with the same employees and supporting the same community efforts. News at the top and bottom of the hour all day and on demand anytime at WGBW.FM. I'm Stuart J. Waddles, 97.9 WGBW News.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. At this past weekend's box office, horror was king. Not a huge surprise with Halloween right around the corner, but give some credit to good reviews and a solid sequel as Black Phone 2 landed at number 1 with $26.2 million at the gate. The original Black Phone also had decent reviews and opened with about $23 million at the box office. Coming in second place was last week's winner, Tron Ares, which pulled in about $11 million. Good Fortune came in at number 3 in its first week of release with pretty good reviews for this comedy that brought in just over $6 million. One Battle After Another brought in $4 million in its fourth week in theaters for a total haul of about $62 million domestically. Action comedy True Story Roofman brought in $3.5 million in its second week. According to Variety, despite Black Phone 2's impressive weekend, the results were a bit lackluster. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy and breezy for tonight with occasional showers and a low close to 40. We'll look for more clouds for tomorrow, a pop-up shower or two possible and still breezy. A high near 50. A return to sunshine for Thursday and Friday, high low 50s. Currently, it's 44 degrees.
Jane.
Children play in the park. They don't know I'm alone in the dark. Even though.
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nightlight. Our question of the night is, it's National Back to the Future Day. What era would you like to travel back to? And Clint in the 608 says, go back to the day of my birth and tell my parents to stop the circumcision. I don't know if that's really an era, but every little bit helps. Right, Clint? It's a great text. Thank you. All right. I'm very excited, folks, to welcome my first guest of the night. We go back a long way. He's a great friend, hilarious stand-up comedian, and incredibly accomplished podcast host. And host in general, multi-talented, the one and only Mr. Jimmy Pardo. Hey, buddy.
Hello, Pete.
How are you?
Good. You know what? I'm just, I like you. I'm yearning for the time where we all lived in the days of pre-Clint circumcision. I mean, it's just, it was a different time, and his parents just did him. They didn't do him right, and we're all feeling it.
It was definitely a more innocent time.
Pete, your words.
I'm with you, buddy. I hope you appreciate. I played that song. I know you're a huge fan of Chicago, as am I. But compared to you, I can't even hold a torch. But I sent Conrad this song, "Make Me Smile." I said, let's play some Chicago for when Jimmy comes on. But my computer, Jim, is having an issue with the M's. They're not clicking when I click the M. So my first text to Conrad was, can you pull Ake E Sile?
Okay.
And luckily, I corrected it.
Conrad's good.
He is. I corrected it. He'd still be looking for the song that didn't exist if I hadn't caught my stupidity. So.
Fair.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing very well. I just saw Chicago in concert at the Hollywood Bowl about a month ago. It was my 112th time seeing them.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, they've been around a long time, and I've been seeing them since 1981. Again, pre-Clint circumcision days, and I remember the band made mention of that. They said this one goes out to Clint's parents. Let's do it right. Saturday in the Park, and then they went right
down
into
the
it.
knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 112 times. That's like that's a summer home.
I think it is. It's more. It's probably more than that because I've spent some dumb money on this band. But I think it'll be the last time, Pete. They're down to one original member, and while the current band is great, it's not the band. It's not. It's if you're just a casual person going, hey, let's go listen to those great hits. You're in good shape. But if you're going there to see the guys that you grew up, posters on the wall, this, that, and the other, a little disappointing.
How do you? I'm sure I've asked you this before, if not on a previous appearance on the show when we were just hanging out. But what's your favorite era of Chicago pre-Clint circumcision? Of course.
I was just talking about this with my buddy Stuart J. Waddles, and we were discussing. I can't even. Come on, Stuart. I mean, is that?
Did you hear his newscast? How did you know that name?
I did. Is that the name of a newsman?
Oh yeah.
How do we feel about it, Pete?
Oh, I love Stuart. He's phenomenal.
I'm not saying I don't like Stuart.
No. I know that.
You understand that? I got no problem with Stuart. I got no truck with Stu.
Well, you think he should change his name?
I don't know. I don't take a newsman seriously who goes by Stuart J. Waddles. He sounds like a cartoon mouse, and I just don't. I don't trust him with my news. I immediately I just picture Stuart Little, and this is his buddy Stuart J. Waddles, and the two of them go on hijinks together. Pete, Stu Little and Stu Waddles. They just they're tiny little world in the gutters.
Here's what I'm going to say on behalf of my friend Stuart J. Waddles. He's got a face and a voice you can trust, Jim. Name aside, I'm just saying. Conrad, let's, you know what? Cut that from the podcast. Right? I don't want Stuart to hear that.
You don't want Stuart to hear the positivity.
No.
That's interesting.
Stuart can take it. Stuart's actually taken comedy classes. He's friends with a lot of comedians, believe it or not. So he'll be thrilled. I don't
believe it. I don't believe it. Based on the read of the news, I don't think he's got it. That's it.
Oh, dude.
No,
come on.
I love Stu Waddles. I always have. Always been a big Stu Waddles fan. My favorite era of Chicago is it started in the 80s, but it's hard not to ignore those classics. But the first time I saw them was in 1981, so I'm a child of the 80s.
Yeah,
I'll answer your question. If Back to the Future Day, if I can go back to any era, it certainly would be the 80s.
Okay,
when it was, it was just for guys our age. It was an easier time. The hardest thing, my biggest worry was, am I going to open the record store on time? You know what I mean? That was the biggest worry I had.
You know what my biggest worry was? In high school, there was this thing going around where you thought it was a real funny joke if you signed your friend up for the draft or to enlist in the, so you'd fill out the card and then you'd have military recruiters calling you. And guys in my high school thought that was hilarious, Jim.
Wow. I don't know.
So that was kind of a worry.
Did you go to school in 1967? Are you older than I think you are?
No, that was still a thing. The draft happened up until, because that was the Cold War too.
Yeah, I know.
So that was a little bit of a concern, but by and large, I'm totally with you on the 80s. It was a fun time.
I do remember talking to somebody, I believe it was a broadcaster, Ed Till, when it looked like we might go into it, might have a draft in the late 80s. And I think, you and I and probably others were probably like, we were just too old to not be drafted, but just young enough to they might need us.
Right.
And it was a little, I remember it being a little scary. So I couldn't even imagine what it was like for our parents for Vietnam.
The 60s, no kidding. My dad was dishonorably. He was honorably discharged because he had a back issue. Or, I think I would have made it, but my 4 siblings might not have been born if he had to go to Vietnam. It's like, I can't even imagine what that was like.
Now, back issues of what magazine? What did he have back issues of that got him kicked out of the service?
True Detective or Spy Detective or whatever that was called. Cracked. The occasional
in Mad Magazine, he was making boobs out of mountains and entertain himself.
We're gonna let this guy go. You, Jim, last time you were here, I still laugh about this. It was very cold. I was sick. I grabbed a very warm shirt. It was not the most attractive shirt in the world. And you made very funny comments. You said, "Is that from the Tim Walz collection?" My daughter Kate still laughs at that. But what was so funny was just the way you looked at my shirt when you came on, and I was like, literally, like, here it comes. I know it's coming.
And the wind up, the pitch.
It's so beautiful.
Now, Pete, if I mentioned Tim Walz, was that pre-election? Is that the last?
No, that was post. You were here in January. I can't believe it's been that long, but that was post-election.
Okay, so it was post-election, but pre
inauguration, maybe? That could be.
Yeah, all right. Well,
he's making some funny videos, whether or not you agree with his president.
You know what? I like the idea that he's doing it himself. That fumbling, his thumbs wouldn't know what to hit. We had a nice rally on Saturday, Pete. We went, Danielle and I, my beautiful wife Danielle and I, we went to the rally in Beverly Hills, California.
Oh, nice.
And it was celebrity free. I expected to see a few celebrities out there, but I didn't see any celebrities. It being Beverly Hills, I thought we'd see some big names with placards out there, but a little disappointing.
You know what was fun to go to in Beverly Hills is when we would all get together and watch the Oscars. And a lot of us were very new out there, and then we would just walk down the street and see everybody going into the after parties. Were you part of that?
I was part of that, and then here's where it turned. My wife, who grew up out here and whose father was, a star of Star Trek, she was at one of those parties once, and we all, this is back in our drinking days too. So we would go to the Oscar party. We'd watch the Oscars. Again, we're new to Los Angeles. We're young actors. We think, this is 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And And then, we could walk less than a mile to watch them go into the Vanity Fair party. And it was exciting. Also, we're drunk. Very important to know that we're drunk. And my wife was like, I grew up here. I don't understand why this is fun. She like, and it kind of like, it was like, yeah, you know what? We're professionals. Why are we doing this? Why am I going down there to yell hello to Roger Ebert? Why am I?
Oh, wow.
I remember one time I was really drunk and I was on the, I was talking to somebody back in Chicago on a payphone that happened to be along the limo route. And Roger Ebert got out of the limo and then walked to the Vanity Fair party. And I yelled to him, hey, Roger, it's me, Jimmy. I'm on the phone with Chicago. As if he's going to go, oh, you're talking to somebody in the city? Let me come over. Like, I don't know what I expected.
Right. Well, hey, look, we all have our moments, but I will say to you, within a week of the death of Ace Frehley,
yes,
you and I had, and I've told this a story before on the show when Jimmy's been here. I apologize, but you saw Paul Stanley, and I thought you were going to lose your mind. We were at a gas station in the Cahuenga Pass, and you were like, "Oh my God, it's Paul Stanley," and you were almost hyperventilating. You're like, "Where's my Kiss CD? I always have a Kiss CD." But the second he came over, I've never seen anyone more cool. You were like, "Love the new album." And he's like, "Do you? Thanks." Yeah, when we went into the studio at first, he starts talking like you guys had this like 5-minute conversation. It was beautiful.
It was pretty cool. Like he talked as if he wasn't Paul Stanley of Kiss.
Right.
He talked about it like a guy who's like, you like our band? Oh, that's great that you like our band. Let's talk a little bit about it. Like not the fact that, like, again, I had his posters all over my wall as a kid, and that's kind of how I feel about Ace Frehley. It's Ace was on my podcast about 7 years ago. And
oh, nice.
So to have a legend like that on was really, really cool. And then, and he was a very nice guy, a real nice guy. And, I'm always weirded out when people get a little overly emotional when a celebrity dies, because it's like, come on, man, you don't know that person. And I don't know Ace Frehley, but I will say he's been part of my life since 1976,
For sure.
And, so it did put me in a funk for a day when with Ace's passing. And again, he was a nice man when he came on the podcast.
Somehow Destroyer, or it was either Destroyer or Machine Head, was my first album, and the other one was the second one.
Machine Head by Deep Purple?
Yeah, Deep Purple. And my guest is Jimmy Pardo. He is the host of the Never Not Funny podcast. Check it out if you haven't. It's very funny. And he is also he's a hilarious stand-up comic. And he's joining me here on Nightlight. Jim, I want to say, I think that was Paul Stanley. He had the makeup on. And
you know what? It could have just been a guy going to a kid's party. You know what?
Yeah, when he asked us to go to the bathroom with him, I thought that was a little strange.
Well, listen, that's how rock and rollers do it. That's how Hollywood rolls. It's a different world out here, Pete.
Hey, so let me ask you something, all right? You're this huge stand-up comic, and I don't know if you were asked to do this or what your thoughts were, but when the comedians went to the comedy festival in the Middle East, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Is it Riyadh?
Riyadh,
okay. I was looking at it phonetically. What did you think about that? Because it was controversial, and I kind of thought at first, well, they're going to the Middle East as ambassadors to make people laugh, and then I found out who was behind it, and I was like, oh, that's sick. So I mean, they're all kind of defending themselves and getting defensive. It was, it was Bill Burr and it was Chappelle and some of those guys. What's your take on that? You're closer to this.
I don't know if I could have said no fast enough had they offered it to me. I don't care about, even the low money that was offered was like $350,000, which,
wow.
That's $100,000 is like, $10,000 is good money. Like,
sure.
So it's life-changing money, but I feel I felt the same way about the Live Tour, the golfers who are taking that money, and it's like they're like, I'm making more money than ever, and I play golf less. It's like, but you're taking money from people that use a bone saw. I mean, like
blood money. Yeah.
How do you feel good about that? So I felt that way about the Live Tour, and then when I saw this thing happening, and then you saw like the grid of comedians that went, and it's like that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Like they're all kind of these guys and a few of the women who that just seems to be their brand, where like they are okay with that. And I was sickened by it. And, the fact that Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle and Aziz and there's a fourth one who, Louis C.K., they're digging their heels in.
Right.
Whereas someone like Jessica Kirson immediately went, I made a mistake. I should not have done this. I didn't realize it was, but for Bill Burr to say the Royals were happy, it's dude, come on, man. I don't get it.
They don't need the money.
I'm sorry, Pete.
They don't need the money either. They're the comics that don't need the money.
That's the other thing. They're the
why
comics.
would you? Let's pick up here. We got to do a really short break. Jimmy Pardo is here, folks, host of the Never Not Funny podcast. We're coming back after a very short break. Don't go anywhere. It's Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Reach, engage, grow with Civic Media. Log on civicmedia.us/advertise.
Hey, this is Mike Starr, and you're listening to Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back. This is great. Another text or a text from Tyler from the 608. He says, "I want to see The Big Bang." I bet that was a very blustery day. That's a good one. Thank you, Tyler. Here is another text that's geared toward my guest, Jimmy Pardo. Joe from La Crosse, he's in the 608, says, "I finished watching The Godfather of Green Bay last night, and I have to say that I absolutely loved it. You two guys were great." Well, thank you, Joe. And Jimmy, was every once in a while I hear Higgins, and it's just, it cracks me up.
Well, it's it's one of those. I was just talking about that role the other day, Pete. You know, when you work on a picture like that, you're on a set with the type of talent that I was on. You really immerse yourself in the role. And actually, what I was talking about was the fact that I can't believe the confidence that I had that you talked me into showing my nude behind in addition to opening up the door in nothing but bikini briefs and a robe. And I did it. And I don't know, to this day, I don't know how. I would say no if you asked me today.
Yeah, it was peer pressure, probably. No, you didn't show your butt, though.
I showed my butt because you were asleep in the bathtub, and you looked over, and I'm taking a whiz, and then
we cut it though.
What's that?
We didn't use that.
You still shot it. I still had to do it.
Listen, if you want it for your reel, just ask Jim. It's fine. We'll send it to you.
What if that was the only thing on my reel? please hire me, and it's just my butt from behind while I'm going to the bathroom.
Jimmy's ass is in demand.
Yeah.
That was fun. You were very funny, though.
Well, Pete, I appreciate it. There was a lot of fun. And there was Oktoberfest, what 2004?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's weird. Because of this show, I'm not had to, but it just comes up. And I haven't talked about the movie in so long. And now we're doing a screening in Madison on the 4th. And it's kind of come back into my life, this movie. I wasn't sick of it. I'm proud of it. I like it, but I'm still sort of like, it's just like if you had to do the same jokes over and over in your act. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that's a good example. I think that's I improvise every night. It's a different show every night. And but Pete, you got some new clips from that movie? That's unfair. I'm doing inside jokes on a radio show. I apologize.
I keep clip. No, listen, here's a funny story. Okay. Steve Iatt. You're friends with Steve. Very good friends. All right. Dave Dugan on Facebook today posted just a picture of Steve Iatt on stage. No caption, no nothing. And my first thought, what would your first thought be if you saw that?
I would think probably the same thought you had, maybe not a positive one.
Dear God, what happened? Oh, no, not Steve. That was
100%.
So I go to Steve's Facebook page. There's nothing posted. It says no posts available. Oh, no. And then I look and Dave's working with Steve and he just didn't post the other pictures yet.
By the way, how funny is that show? Dave Dugan and Steve Iatt? Oh, my God.
Great show. Yeah. Excellent show.
What a show.
Steve keeps saying, I'd love to do your show. Let me do it when I'm coming to Wisconsin to do stand-up, and I can talk about it. And that apparently is never going to happen. I don't think anybody in Wisconsin is booking Steve because I haven't heard a peep from him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Pete, I'm sorry. I think Steve, I haven't, he's not done my podcast either, and I would love to have him on anytime. Yeah. I'm on record. He's the funniest guy I've ever met.
Very funny guy. And I don't care if he doesn't want to do it. Like I've had guys that say, look, I don't really do that stuff anymore. I'm fine with that. I don't care. Great. But
really? Why don't you accept that when I say it? Why don't this is my bare butt all over again. I'm bullying into this.
I blackmail you with the butt footage.
I love you know that. I love it.
Yeah, I was laughing because Steve, one of my best memories of Steve, you and I and Steve were miniature golfing for money in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And it was literally the hole you always make fun of, the windmill hole when your stand-ups are doing a joke. Yeah, I have trouble with the windmill hole. This was a windmill hole, and Steve was trying to time it to hit the ball. And right when he was on his backswing, you and I both knew he timed it horribly and was going to hit the blade. And we looked at each other and Steve, I've never laughed so hard at someone's anger. It was beautiful.
Yes, he was. It was. By the way, I've lost back in those days. I was making, and you know this. You make when you're a beginning comic, you make $250 a week, maybe. And I remember one week, Steve and I were working in Toledo. I believe it was Toledo, and I lost all that money to him on the miniature golf course. I lost.
Oh my gosh!
I kept because he's a better golfer than me, and even on a miniature golf course, he's putting better than me, and I keep. Double or nothing. And all of a sudden, I'm writing him a check for $250 because we just played miniature golf. I'm an idiot.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
He took it too, huh? He didn't let you off the hook.
You know what? You gamble. You touch the oven, you're going to get burned, Pete. Would I have taken the money from a friend? Probably not.
Me too. I think we just found a chink in the Iatt armor here, is what I'm saying. Like he's a good guy.
He's a hustler. You know what he is? He's a hustler. No, what's the word when you're a hustler when you
con man or a hustler. Yeah, that works.
I'm not a good pool player, and then you are. That's Steve.
Sure.
He's, again, brilliantly funny and a great guy.
I want to ask you this, and I'm hoping I can keep you through the news, Jim, for another segment. You have a son who is very interested in the arts, very talented kid. I've seen some of the things he's done that you and your wife post online. It's just great stuff. And he seems to be following you into this business as kind of my kids are right now. How do you feel about that?
You know how I feel about it? I wish he went into anything else At the same time, Pete, he's open for me about he's done about 10 to 12 stand-up sets. He's open for me about 10 times.
Oh, I think you told me that. Yeah,
he is. He's good.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. It's like as a comedian, I don't say this as a dad. I say it as a comedian. When you see somebody that's got it, you go, that guy's got it. Or you see somebody that's like, why is this guy doing comedy? He's horrible. My son has it. And so how do I feel about it? I wish he was doing anything else, but how do I not encourage him to continue being hysterical?
That's exactly how I feel. I just wish my kids were talented.
Oh,
that's
no.
the difference.
Oh,
and
good
that's
heavens.
the problem. But I'm still nervous. Like, they're both sharp kids, but I'm still like, just go be an electrician or do something I don't have to worry about. So I don't have to like worry about this again.
Here's the other thing, Pete. You and I both know what happens on the road. Our parents didn't. Right. You know what I mean? And so, like, if all of a sudden Oliver's opening up for somebody in Cincinnati, it's like, I know what happens after shows and so on. It's like, oh, no. But
you get together with the other comics, you read a little scripture. It's a good time.
Okay,
it's fun
you know
on
what?
the road.
I forgot.
All right, we are coming right back for Act 2. Enjoy your intermission, folks. Jimmy Pardo's coming back, too, and we will read some of your texts. Our question of the night, what era would you travel back to? It's National Back to the Future Day. We are coming right back. It's a Tuesday at Nightlight. I'm Pete Schwaba, and this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Local news and timeless hits. WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay. Local news and timeless hits. WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. President Trump is demanding $230 million from his own Justice Department for past cases against him, including the investigation into the Russian interference in the 2016 election and the classified documents case.
We have numerous cases having to do with the fraud of the election, the 2020 election, and because of everything that we found out, I guess they owe me a lot of money.
It would be up to Trump's hand-picked DOJ officials to defend against the president's claims. Late today, federal agents, including ICE, launching a crackdown in New York City's Chinatown. People detained, many people. This just hours after Homeland Security officials and a suspected undocumented immigrant were both shot and wounded in a targeted traffic stop in Los Angeles. Police say a man pardoned for his actions on January 6 is under arrest for allegedly threatening to kill House Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. New York State Police say 34-year-old Christopher Moynihan's charged with making a terroristic threat. This is ABC News. A big entertainment company is hinting that it might be open to a buyout. ABC's Sherry Preston reports.
Warner Brothers Discovery had wanted to split its holdings, including HBO, HBO Max, Warner Brothers TV, and Motion Picture Group, CNN, Discovery, and TNT into two separate companies, one focusing on streaming and the other on cable. Now the entertainment behemoth confirms it's gotten buyout offers and would be open to selling the entire company. Possible buyers are said to include Paramount, Comcast, and Netflix.
OpenAI is introducing its own web browser called Atlas to compete with Google Chrome, which has about 3 billion users. Atlas comes out as more users rely on AI for answers to internet searches. Google Chrome has already added AI features from Google's Gemini technology. Atlas launched Tuesday on Apple laptops and will later come to Microsoft's Windows, Apple's iOS phone operating system, and Google's Android phone system. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Green Bay weather.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy and breezy for tonight with occasional showers and a low close to 40. We'll look for more clouds for tomorrow, a pop-up shower or two possible and still breezy, a high near 50. A return to sunshine for Thursday and Friday, high low 50s. Currently it's 44 degrees.
WGBW.
Never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And there's no tenderness like grief in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, but baby, I know it. You lost that love me.
Retired? On my cover with sports, college football, bag of chasing
against number 6 ranked Oregon. Saturday night, Wisconsin has never beat a ranked team since Luke Fickell took over as head coach 3 years ago. They're 0-9. Fickell says he can't be concerned about his future at Wisconsin.
It's not going to change the fact that we got to practice tomorrow. It's not going to change the fact that anything on Saturday. I have not been told. I'm not worried about that. I mean, I understand if we don't meet expectations and we don't do the things we need to do, anything.
Athletic Director Chris McIntosh releasing a statement in support of the coach. College hoops. Former Marquette star Cam Jones arrested and jailed for leading police in Indianapolis on a brief chase on I-65 yesterday. Jones, drafted by the Pacers this summer, said he was late for practice. Clock at 90 miles an hour. In Milwaukee, the Bucks kick off the NBA season tomorrow night against the Washington Wizards. They're planning a welcome back tribute to Chris Middleton to Sports on Mike Clemens.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy and breezy for tonight with occasional showers and a low close to 40. We'll look for more clouds for tomorrow, a pop-up shower or two possible and still breezy. A high near 50. A return to sunshine for Thursday and Friday, high low 50s. Currently, it's 44 degrees.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, Robert Kennedy Jr. says America is under-babied. What can we do to encourage more Americans to become parents? Dr. Kristen Lyerly joins us. Don't miss it.
Matnair on air, weekday mornings 9 to 11. Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy who still likes to build a fort, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to Night Light, folks. We are getting it done on a Tuesday night. Lots of fun here tonight. Great to have you with me. Jimmy Pardo is here. We will get back to Jim in just a minute. Coming up at 7:35, Rex Sykes will be here, one of the co-founders of, not the Million Man March, Conrad. Help me out again. 1 billion strong. No, 1 billion. It's 1 billion. What is it? I can't pronounce the city in the Middle East, and now I can't. You've got it, though. All right, fine, Conrad. I'll pull it up. 1 billion strong. No, it's not it. This is driving me
Mission 1 billion?
Mission 1 billion. They're going to tell you all about it. We've got Rocky Wagenhurst. He is a TV executive in Milwaukee at the CW, and Rex Sykes is the co-founder. They have a great event going on tomorrow night in Milwaukee. We'll talk about that at 7:30. Two swell guys. Our question of the night is in honor of National Back to the Future Day. What era would you travel back to? And we've got to catch up on text. We'll do that in just a bit. Let's get back to our guest, Jimmy Pardo, one of my oldest friends in the biz, so to speak. And Jim, you have such a great, I don't want to say it's stream of consciousness, but you're very off the cuff, very in the moment. You have a very unique style. You can go off on a tangent and spend 10 minutes there, and it's a thing of beauty to watch.
Thank you.
Who are your people would probably jump to the conclusion that it's Robin Williams or Jonathan Winters, and I'm sure you've been kind of influenced by them, but who else? Who's influenced your comedy?
Well, I got to admit, Jonathan Winters might be a little bit before my inspiration. Certainly a genius and so on. But Robin certainly is somebody. But the ones that really are at the forefront of my mind are Richard Lewis is my hero. he was stream of consciousness, same deal, off the top of his head. He was also a great joke writer, but Richard would also just talk about his life or his day in that the brilliant way that he would. And he's the guy that I feel like I'm most like. He's my hero. Paul Reiser is a hero. Don Rickles, of course. Somebody once, I was overseas and I did a show, and somebody once said, it'll be very easy to compare Pardo to Rickles, but I think the best compliment is to say he's like Groucho. And
oh, wow.
I was like, you know what? I'll take that. I agree with that. I think that, Groucho was off the top of his head, and he would quote unquote insult somebody, but you even more so than Don, you knew he was kidding. And, so I'll take all these guys, whatever, however you want to,
absolutely.
I think the current crop of guys that are, improvising and doing quote unquote crowd work that are getting all the acclaim, I don't think they're good at it. I think that there's a craft to this, and it infuriates me to see these guys that are getting Netflix specials, like they all crowd work, and then it's like,
oh man,
and it's really hackneyed, easy crowd work, and it's not all that special or clever.
It's interesting because it's all like on Reels. It's like, watch this comedian shut this guy down. I'm like, oh, I got to see this. And I click it. I'm like, that's so lame. That's just clickbait, and it's like, I'm sorry. There's just too much of it out there.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do. And there's a new trend of that where it's like everybody's afraid to put their material online. So they all put down their crowd work. And it's like, but you don't do crowd work. Why do you want that to be what you're known for if that's not what you do? Like, it makes no sense to me. And also, like, you'll see times where a guy, a comedian shuts down heckler and the heckler wins. It's like, why would you put this online?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, it's maddening. I don't even click on them anymore. Now I just get a billion pictures of feet in my feed, which is always fun because I clicked on a really gross foot once.
So now you get is it a mixture of good and bad feet?
Some, but I'm not even a foot guy, and I'm clicking on the good feet just to make sure they pop up more than the bad feet, if that makes sense.
You don't want a fungus foot. I get it.
Right. And Richard Lewis, I had one of my first times like leaving the Midwest was to work in Florida, and I opened for him, and I remember a joke he did, and he said the babe got up to bat and pointed like, I'm going to hit a home run. And his joke was, that's like me saying, I'm going to get an erection. And when I told this to the other comic, the comic closed his eyes and put his head down and just pointed. That made me laugh even more than with Richard Lewis because he loved it so much. It was so beautiful. But that's a great comp. Richard Lewis, I think.
I love him.
That's outstanding.
I love him, and I miss him. He was I don't want to say he was a friend, but we became very friendly towards the end of his life.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
And I was grateful for that because it's like, man, I can't believe I'm friends with the guy that I say is the reason I do stand up. That's pretty amazing.
What's funny is I never saw him again after that, but he was so nice to me. And then I worked down there again with David Brenner. It was a big club. They brought in a lot of these big names, and he brought me into his dressing room, and I thought I was in trouble, and he was just picking my brain and talking to me. Like, two of the biggest guys in comedy were so nice to me. That kind of ruined the rest of it because you meet guys that were headlining that hadn't even been on TV, and they were the biggest jerks in the world. And I'm like, oh, why can't they all be like those guys?
I will say this, that when in talking to Richard, while he was nice to you in Florida, there's a reason why you never saw him again. He did not care for you. And you came up a lot. I brought you up a lot. I was like,
if he had that strong of an opinion on the opener who had been doing stand up a year and badmouth me, I would even respect him more.
That's
somehow.
a good point. Yeah.
I'll take that. So let me ask you this, Jim. You got this great podcast, and I love every once in a while people will send me a message or whatever. Hey, heard your name on Never Not Funny. I just love that, and I feel like I'm part of this thing that's been going on forever, which is such a successful and fun podcast. You got in on the ground floor, but what would you be doing if you hadn't done that? Would you be doing more stand-up? Would you have continued? Like, you're a really good host. You've done a lot of acting. Like, what would you have done?
I don't have a clue, Pete. You know what? I mean, I started the podcast in 2006, and then I got hired by Conan in 2009. So my life kind of became just in those lanes. I was with Conan for 8 years, 7 or 8 years. Wow. And then the podcast is going on now 20 years. And so I don't know the answer to that because I kind of, I guess I'd be doing what I'm happy with the amount of stand-up that I do these days. I do a nice sprinkling. I go out, I do one night. I do one show and one night in a city, and I move on to the next city, and I don't get sick of my own voice, and I enjoy it. I would hate to think that I would be lugging luggage every Thursday to the airport to have to do it.
Yeah.
So Pete, I'll say this. I ask myself that question all the time, and the answer is I don't know, and thank God I don't have to know.
Little gratitude. Absolutely. No, that's a great answer, actually, and I appreciate the honesty. Have you been to the soup plantation recently?
Well, they all closed during the lockdown.
Oh, come on.
Because buffets were seen as something like, you can't share the ladle and
Right.
and that. But I don't understand it. It's got a built-in sneeze guard. It's got the mask. The mask is already there for you.
What do they want?
I don't know. I think it was an excuse for them to go out of business. I don't know if they were doing well. Man, did I love the soup plantation.
I love that place. We would just sit there for hours. Sure. It was so much fun.
Who doesn't like salad and pizza slices?
We still laugh. We went to Shakey's once
Uh-oh.
when we first moved there, and my wife was new to LA, as was I, and you were showing us around, and this great host helping us get used to the area. And we went to the Shakey's, to the buffet, and Mary sat with the plates while we went to get salad. And you said, "Will you please tell Mary she doesn't have to guard the plates?"
But here's my takeaway from that story. First of all, we have fun. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
B, you say I'm this great host that I'm showing you around town. I bring you to the chain restaurant Shakey's. We're in LA, and I bring you to get a corporate pizza. What about is that a good host?
Let me take you to a place it's a franchise, but it's a lot better than the one in Wisconsin or Chicago.
It was a good Shakey's, man.
It was a great Shakey's. They had soda.
The fried chicken was delicious. I
loved it.
Yeah, my wife hates the place, so we can't even. I can't even look at it when we drive past it. It's like because if I look at it, I'm gonna go. My body will go, "Hey, what about Shakey's?" And I know the answer, so I just gotta have little horse blinders on.
We had a lot of the kids' birthday parties there. It was fun, but I'm laughing because your wife, when you first got together with her, she was like, "Why does he do this? Why does he go to Beverly Hills? Why does he like Shakey's? What is he doing?"
Yeah, but she still loved me and still
She got past it.
tolerated my nonsense. We've been together now 27 years, I think it is.
Oh, that's crazy.
Very grateful. Yeah,
I want her back on the show, but I don't want to be a pest. So
No, you're
pass
not
that
a pest.
along,
Ask
please.
her. She'd love
I
to do it.
have. I've emailed her, and she's, keeps claiming it goes to her junk box, which is fine. No, I'm kidding. I would love to have her on, and I will email her again, but I
All
don't
right.
want to, I'm like, I don't know. Hey, before we let you get out of here, Jim, you're a good binge watcher. You binge watching anything you could recommend?
You know what? A Taskmaster is always great. You watch that on YouTube. The great, game show from England, hosted by Greg Davies, who I actually wrote a fan letter to. I wrote Greg Davies
really
a fan letter saying, people here. Robin Williams once said that I had a quicker mind than him. Robin Williams said that to me, and it was one
Yeah,
of
I
the
remember that. That's
honors.
so cool.
And I wrote Greg Davies to tell him, just so you know that this compliment doesn't come out of nowhere. Robin Williams told me I'm the funniest mind he's ever seen. I'm telling you, you're the fastest mind I've ever seen. So understand I'm complimenting you. And he wrote back a real nice email. It was very kind. So I love Taskmaster, and it's been months since it ended, and I'm kind of going through withdrawal about it.
Wow.
The Pit. I thought The Pit was the greatest thing I've seen on TV in ages.
A lot of people agree with you. Yeah,
You didn't care
watched,
for it.
No, I watched the first episode. I'm not a huge medical drama guy. I just finished Task. I love a good cop show or a
Yeah,
good.
me too.
But my buddy Jamie is the bad guy on it, and he's great. And I just watched the finale. It was so good. But I have to go back to The Pit because I've heard so much good stuff about
Can
it.
I say this? I have never in my life. I'm a cop guy too. I'm currently watching Policewoman, starring Angie Dickinson. That's what I'm binging
nice.
at the moment. I don't like medical shows, and somebody said The Pit is great. The first episode is like, oh man, well, I don't know, this isn't for me. But then, man, I was all in, and now I
Wow.
say, I'm like, I'm jonesing for when it comes back. It was really great.
All right, I'll definitely take another look. That's great. Please don't tell anyone I called Riyadh Ridya. I just go into these things where I see it once and it stays. I called it Parmesan cheese till I was in college, Jim, because my parents are the farthest thing from Italian there is.
I thought the word was catastrophe, not catastrophe. So, yeah, I once read somewhere, Pete, that if you mispronounce a word, it just means you haven't heard it. You've only read it. So you're an educated person. So I take whenever I mispronounce something, I remember that, and it makes me feel better about it.
I do, because I cannot watch Talking Heads anymore. I read all my news, but I know what that word is. So I don't know what category that puts me in.
Of course you know what that word is. You should have known what it is for years.
Parmesan. My parents still laugh. They tried to ruin me. Hey, buddy, this is so much fun. You're the best.
My pleasure.
Yeah, always fun, Jim. Tell Danielle and Oliver hello, and let's talk soon, buddy.
Good luck with Rex Sykes. That's all I can say.
Will do.
Thanks, pal.
Thanks, Jim. So Jimmy, I loved his answer. He would travel back to before Clint's circumcision. I don't even know how that affects Jim, but he seems to think that that would be a better time for him, which is not a bad answer. Rex Sykes is coming up with Rocky Wagenhurst. We're going to talk about Mission 1 Billion, a great event going on tomorrow. Rex is one of the co-founders of the organization, and Rocky Wagenhurst is a TV executive at the CW in Milwaukee. So we'll have that talk in just a few minutes. When we come back, we are going to read your texts. And what am I forgetting something, Conrad? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I don't think so.
Is Jimmy Pardo coming up yet?
I think so.
Was he just on the show? All right, we'll read your texts. Maybe we'll find a funny clip. We'll do something. It's a Tuesday night at Nightlight, folks. What could be better? I'm Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good.
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW.
Welcome back to Nightlight. I am Pete Schwaba. It's great to have you with me. It is a Tuesday night here. It's a Tuesday night edition of Nightlight. Oftentimes the best edition of Nightlight throughout the course of the week. We're going to get caught up with your texts in just a moment. Tonight's question is, what era would you travel back to? It is National Back to the Future Day. So that is our question. Be part of the show and let us know what you think or where you'd go. So I do these nightlight window pictures every night, and I go out to take a picture, and these two guys are trying to get in the building. I'm like, hey, man, what gives? Ready to kick some ass, right?
Yeah, of course.
Kidding. They don't pay me that much money. I'm kidding. But I'm not going to risk bodily harm. If someone's trying to get in the building, go ahead. It's all yours, guys. There's nothing in the till. We keep no cash. No, they were very nice guys. They are running a fishing. It's this is what it is. And I did some research on this. It seems legit. Very nice guys. They're looking for volunteers. It's International Teams Fishing, the 2025 Street Fishing World Championship. Street fishing.
What is street fishing?
I guess it's like playground basketball, but for fishing. Like you fish the streets, right? It says, see international anglers fishing along the banks of the Fox River in Green Bay, City of De Pere, Village of Alloway, and Village of Schwaba. Cheer on your favorite nation, all catch and release. Now, I'm an inside guy, but even I know what that means. That means you catch the fish and you throw it back. Very humane. But you can find more information if you want at www.usangling.org. www.usangling.org. It was John Nite and Mike, I have to find Mike's last name, McNett. Nice guys. Good luck with the event, guys. They will be on our Nightlight fun window picture tonight. And are you a fisherman?
No.
Yeah, me either.
I can't remember the last time I went fishing.
I like. And this is not a pun either, but the angle, the street fishing world championship. I don't think I could ever watch fishing either, but
do you think we can make a run at it?
I don't know. Maybe with a winning attitude, we could show up, bring our game face. We got a phone call?
Yeah, Ollie from the Northwoods.
All right, Ollie, how are you?
I'm good. You guys sound great tonight.
Well, thank you. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind?
Well, if I could go back to the future, I would pick 1946.
Okay.
And for one reason, because then I would be born before my oldest sister, and I would actually be the oldest sister. And believe me, it was no fun being the middle sister, and I could give them a taste of their own medicine.
You could boss them around.
Yep.
My wife is a middle child too, Ollie. So I've heard this my whole time with her. Like, she constantly is saying that there's a National Middle Child Day. I don't know if you know that, but you should celebrate that as well. And 46. That's when I would go. Maybe we could hit a gin joint together in a different era, Ollie. That would be fun.
That sounds good.
All right.
My sister I had two older sisters, and they used to take me and my little sister, and they would say, "Oh, let's play fights," and they would my older sister would take me into one corner, and the other sister would take my younger sister into another corner. And then they'd say, "Okay, when we ring the bell, you girls come out fighting." And we were so stupid that we'd do it, and then they'd sit there and say, "Kick her, bite her, pull her hair."
Oh, my gosh. What in the heck was happening in the Northwoods household? That's great.
Well, my dad was in the Army then, and we did have lots of great times traveling, and so it would have been wonderful to be the older sister during that time.
Well, I wish you luck in the next life, my friend. Great phone call. Thank you so much, Ollie, as always.
All righty.
All right. Have a great night. JB Thompson, watching the radio on the stream, says a concert full of nude people doesn't happen to you often. It does not. Maybe I'm running with the wrong crowd, because that was my comment to you earlier.
Yeah,
people
I mean,
go
that's
to Woodstock, and all of a sudden they're surrounded by nude people.
It's a Saturday for me.
It's a Saturday? All right.
Mhm.
I got it. I'm usually reading scripture and heading off to church then, but you guys do what you got to do. Jim from Appleton in the 920 says the 1970s, early on, the best music. We still play it on the radio. Muscle cars were top of the line. That's a great text. Thank you, Jim. I never had a muscle car. I always thought that'd be cool, though, like a Mustang or something. Steve from Florida, the 920. Conrad's dad says, the era I would love to travel back to is 1865 so I could meet my great-great-great-grandfather, Nicholas. when he bought the homestead farm in Ashford, Wisconsin. That would be Conrad's great-great-great-great-grandfather. Great-great-great-great-grandfather. That's a lot of greats. And your dad just said that's a lot of greats.
You know, this is what I would extend that, Dad. All right, this is what you go back to visit him, but then you have him invent something that he doesn't know about yet.
Right.
So that we're just loaded with money.
You're like the farm Kennedys of Wisconsin.
We invent some farm product.
I can't imagine. I would not do well on a farm. I have allergies, and I don't like hay.
I only lived there till I was like 5. So
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Thank you for the family history there, Steve. Appreciate that. Let's see, what else? Am I missing anything? I think I'm caught up on text, right?
My mom texted in.
Where's your mom's text? I'll let you read that because she's your mom.
Yeah, she said, love the music from Happy Days and the drive-in theaters, so I would think it would be a fun time to go back to, which I don't know what time that is, but...
It's the 50s. Happy Days was set in the 50s, filmed in the 70s, and I always thought that too, Paula. Actually, I remember watching that when I was growing up, and I thought that would be a cool... I don't know. That's a great answer. All right. It's not too late. Text us what era you would like to travel to. When we come back, we're going to talk about a really cool event put on by Mission 1 Billion. That is tomorrow night in Milwaukee. Co-founder Rex Sykes will be here, and TV executive in Milwaukee at the CW, Rocky Wagonhurst, who's had a really cool history, will be here too. That's coming up next on Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
When the jazzman's testify and a faithless man believes, he can sing you into paradise.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. President Trump is demanding $230 million from his own Justice Department for past cases against him, including the investigation into the Russian interference in the 2016 election and the classified documents case.
We have numerous cases having to do with the fraud of the election, the 2020 election, and because of everything that we found out, I guess they owe me a lot of money.
It would be up to Trump's hand-picked DOJ officials to defend against the president's claims. Late today, federal agents, including ICE, launching a crackdown in New York City's Chinatown. People detained, many people. This just hours after Homeland Security officials and a suspected undocumented immigrant were both shot and wounded in a targeted traffic stop in Los Angeles. Police say a man pardoned for his actions on January 6 is under arrest for allegedly threatening to kill House Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. New York State Police say 34-year-old Christopher Moynihan's charged with making a terroristic threat. This is ABC News.
Will Fickell be fired? Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. College football. The Badgers face number 6 ranked Oregon Saturday night. Wisconsin has never beat a ranked team since Luke Fickell took over as head coach 3 years ago. They're 0-9. Fickell says he can't be concerned about his future at Wisconsin.
It's not going to change the fact that we got to practice tomorrow. It's not going to change the fact of anything on Saturday. But I have not been told. I'm not worried about that. I mean, I understand, if we don't meet expectations and we don't do the things we need to do, anything can happen.
Athletic Director Chris McIntosh releasing a statement in support of the coach. College hoops. Former Marquette star Cam Jones arrested and jailed for leading police in Indianapolis on a brief chase on I-65 yesterday. Jones, drafted by the Pacers this summer, said he was late for practice. He was clocked at 90 miles an hour. In Milwaukee, the Bucks kick off the NBA season tomorrow night against the Washington Wizards. They're planning a welcome back tribute to Chris Middleton. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. The live part of Saturday Night Live can be a liability at times, as proven this past weekend. Sabrina Carpenter appeared on the show as the host and musical guest. The host side of Carpenter did fine, but the musical side dropped 2 F-bombs during her song Nobody's Son from her new album Man's Best Friend. Both F-words played live during the broadcast and on the Peacock simulcast, but after some editing, the West Coast saw the PG-13 version. Carpenter performed wearing a karate gi, but unfortunately they were not able to edit out her wardrobe. Here's one of Pete's picks. Roofman is worth a look. This well-reviewed action comedy is a true story about a man who breaks into McDonald's stores through the roof. Even after getting caught, he manages to escape prison and live in a Toys R Us for several months while making a plan to escape the country. The film stars Channing Tatum, Peter Dinklage, and Kirsten Dunst, and was a really fun watch with a really nice but not too preachy message. For more showbiz fun, tune into Night Light with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy and breezy for tonight with occasional showers and a low close to 40. We'll look for more clouds for tomorrow, a pop-up shower or two possible and still breezy. A high near 50. A return to sunshine for Thursday and Friday, high low 50s. Currently it's 44 degrees.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bott.
Charleston was once the rage. History has turned a page.
Welcome back. This is Night Light. I am Pete Schwaba. You've got the Civic Media Radio Network. Our question of the night is in honor of National Back to the Future Day. It's so cool that a movie has a national day.
I mean, it's just a classic.
It is a great film.
Yeah.
But our question is, what era would you travel to? I say the late 1940s after World War II, hitting the jazz joints, maybe hitting the road like Jack Kerouac. Conrad says the medieval times. I still have no idea why. But, you know,
To be a knight.
To be a knight and a gesture.
That was
Moonlight as a
destined to be
gesture.
one.
That's right. All right. Let us know. You can still get in on the fun. Right now, we are going to turn our attention to two swell gents who are joining us over the stream to talk about a really cool event tomorrow night in Milwaukee. It's called the event, well, the group is called Mission 1 Billion, a very ambitious undertaking by co-founder Rex Sykes. And the speaker at tomorrow night's event is Rocky Wagenhurst, a TV executive in Milwaukee at the CW. And he has had a really lengthy, interesting career, too. They both join me now over the stream. Gentlemen, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Peter?
Doing very well, Rocky. Nice to meet you. And Rex, good to see you again, buddy.
Great to see you, my friend. Hey,
Do you guys have an era you would travel? I know you'd rather travel tomorrow night to your really cool event, but if you could travel back, where would you go?
You want to go first, Rex? Go.
I'd go back to 2039.
I'm pretty sure that's forward, but
Well, wait, where are you? Where are you?
I'm in 2025 at the moment.
Oh
I
my
thought we
God,
all were.
you're so passe.
But you could travel all the way back around, like Fonzie got his bike to make the Earth go back, you know,
I
or
go
Superman.
back to the
because
early 70s. I think they were gritty and wonderful and magnificent in Los Angeles. I think Rocky might agree. He's from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, late 60s, early 70s. You know, if you could be old enough not to get drafted in that late 60s, and
yeah,
then that great. I think that was the greatest time for really television episodic stuff. You know, that movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know,
love it.
I wanted to be. I mean, that was my time. I was about 14. That was like 1969, and if I was a little bit older, I would have loved Brad Pitt's. You know, where he played this stunt double,
Cliff Booth,
like
yeah.
Star. That's what I wanted to be. I thought that would be the greatest job in the world. Fall off horses and you know, do fights and crack whips and punch people in the face, but don't really hurt them.
That's fantastic.
Speaking
I
of
thought
which,
it'd be. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Rex.
I just wanted to say Bob Yerkes, the stuntman, was a good friend of mine. He had a stunt school. I never did it. A lot of my friends did, and I've regretted not doing Bob's program all that while. Most of the people who went through stunt programs became stunt people. I didn't want to be one at the time, but what a magnificent opportunity I passed up.
Well, magnificent opportunity for someone else. It sounds like, I don't know. I'm kind of with you there, Rex.
Well, the great thing was nice, though, as you get older, I'm kind of older now, when you learn how to fall. I mean, I was riding my bike the other day and going up and I kind of hit something and fell. And I was surprised, nice roll, and came up and just broke my phone. But that was about it. So it comes in handy later in life.
A little tuck and roll off the Schwinn Varsity on PCH.
Yeah, I did it.
Also helps if you have knee pads and elbow pads, but
absolutely. Well, it's great to have you guys here. So let's talk about this. Rex, you reached out to me a couple weeks ago. It sounds like a really fun event. It sounds like a very interesting group. Before we talk about the event, tell us how this group came to be and what exactly your mission is with.
Well, thanks for asking, Pete. And you know I love you, so I appreciate you having us on.
My pleasure.
Mission 1 Billion was the brainchild of Dan Brisgell, who is my co-founder, partner. He and I had very similar goals, and that was to create essentially a program, a work in progress, a platform that would allow people. And I think, by the way, Mission 1 Billion is too small. I think we could reach mission all billions. The point is, if you remember Hands Across America, all you had to do was just make sure that you didn't break the chain, and you could stretch people all the way across the country. We can do that with everybody in the world if we wanted to. The Mission 1 Billion, the brilliant part of it was, for both of us, was we wanted an educational platform that would help support filmmakers anywhere in the world and help them produce their projects, market their projects, distribute their projects, and make money in doing so. And we wanted to do that in Wisconsin. Now that the incentives are coming in, we wanted to support filmmakers who are within the state who don't necessarily benefit from the incentives. But we applaud the incentives, we celebrate the incentives, we're glad that they're here. What Dan had added to the whole mix that said, I'm in, was he said, I want to give I want to give a portion of the proceeds to charity for children in need. And I went, this is absolutely amazing. Not only are we doing the work that we love, but we're adding to benefiting other people. So Mission 1 Billion is about supporting filmmakers in their endeavors, helping them to profit, and also give money to charity.
That's the voice of Rex Sykes. He is one of the co-founders of Mission 1 Billion.
And we're a nonprofit.
And you can catch his movie beat on YouTube. He likes to talk movies. Rocky Wagenhurst is also here. He is a TV executive in Milwaukee at the CW, a vice president and general manager of the CW network. Rocky, how did you end up in Milwaukee? Are you digging it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here almost 2.5 years now, and I'm one of those TV guys. I've moved all over. I started in '84, in television, and moved from Sacramento. Grew up in Los Angeles. Started my career as a TV guy, as an account exec in Sacramento. Went to Denver, went back to LA for a while, then went back out. I've been to Bozeman. I was in Baltimore for a lot of years. Working at the CBS O&O. I worked for Comcast, UPN. Always love this kind of the second and third stations in the market because it's a lot more fun, than like getting that football team that's, it's 5 or 6 away from the Super Bowl. It makes it a little bit more fun. And my wife was an anchor. She's done it since she was 17, and she's retired now. And so we're at that point where the kids are away, and I knew the Sinclair folks that own the stations out here, CW 18 and My 24, and they said, if you still want to work, if you want to go out there and a couple things, see what you can do, and came out and started to add local programming, because I think that's really the thing that I think is so important for broadcasters, especially in the affiliates. We get the network stuff, but really it's the community and what we serve. And I really enjoyed Milwaukee, and I've become, I've been a Green Bay Packer fan since the 60s. How could you be a football fan and not, to me, that's like Canton up there. I would rather go there and see that stadium, then go see the in Canton. But and the Brewers, I admit I'm a Los Angeles diehard guy. Dodgers, I can't, they're not quite the Dodgers I grew up watching, but they're pretty fantastic guys. And Brewers, I always say, guys, it takes a long time. You almost got it. It takes a while to get used to doing it. The Dodgers go and they usually don't win, so we'll still see what happens. So it's really been great. And then the Bucks, I guess they start tomorrow night, so we got that going.
Yeah.
But, I really enjoyed living in Milwaukee and the audience, and we've kind of grown this 2 stations and added a lot of high school sports and some local shows, bowling shows. We have a NASCAR local show that we're on the air. We run Bill Michaels' sports show once a week. We have a local wrestling show. So anything that's going to get local, so the folks in Milwaukee, it's something that's unique to them instead of watching just all the network stuff and game shows and stuff. So really have enjoyed it, though. Really, my time here so far has been great.
That's great. So I'm sure you're excited about tomorrow night. What is tomorrow night going to be like, you guys? Like, if people do want to go, what can they expect, and how can they get more information?
Well, if I want to go before Rocky, here's the cool thing. We did our first charity event in August where we gave money to Make-A-Wish children. And so that was a kickoff event. And every month we did 4 or 5 weekly meetings, and then we are starting our monthly meetings. And last month we had Michael Seibel. He's a director. Most of his movies are between X amount of dollars and $20 million. He's done about a dozen movies, local as well as in Hollywood and in India and all over the world, and about 400 TV shows, both as a director and CD, and a DP. I'm sorry, and Rocky and Michael are alumnus from UCLA, and they go back a long way. Michael is from Wisconsin. He was born he lived in Wausau for a while, and then moved to the Appleton area where he is now. Like I go back to my home in LA and also in Wisconsin. So I'm not bi-coastal, but nearly bi-coastal. I'm by something, but I don't know quite what.
Lake Michigan counts. Come on.
Lake Michigan, LA. But Rocky, I got to meet Rocky through Michael, and I'm so thrilled to have Rocky, because Rocky's not only an actor and a filmmaker and a media visionary, and he knows about AI, and he's a studio executive and television executive, but he brings such a wealth of experience and practical application information to each of us that we tomorrow night, October 22nd, Wednesday at Schmitty's Bar and Grill in Brookfield, Wisconsin on Lisbon Avenue, if you want to look it up. And it's open to the public. Mission 1 Billion is an educational arm. We do workshops, seminars that are paid for. People sign up, classes. I teach acting and other things. But we also have open to the public and free events. And Rocky has been gracious enough to say that he would speak tomorrow night to the public who shows up and to answer their questions about how to navigate a career. And I'll let him tell you more about that. But I'm thrilled because Rocky's just an amazing guy. I've gotten to know Rocky, and I love him. So I'm thrilled that we get to have him speak, and I hope it's the first of many times. But so Rocky, you take it away.
Yeah, Rocky, what do you teach? What do you tell people? Like, let's say all these people who don't know the first thing about this business, whether it's behind the scenes, in front of the camera, whatever. How do you even start with them?
Well, I laugh, because Rex, I was really lucky. Michael Seibel, I was my fraternity brother at UCLA, really, really talented guy. We had another fraternity brother, Tim Moore, who been an executive producer with Clint Eastwood, I think, from every movie he did. He was also the executive producer on that famous Patrick Swayze cult film. What's the
Roadhouse?
Roadhouse, yeah.
I was hoping you'd say Roadhouse.
Yeah. Oh, it's the greatest.
Good call.
The greatest film. I always, those are the kind of things that nobody went and saw when it came out, but it just, kind of built its own audience. And so we had a lot of talented guys, and we UCLA. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, Woodland Hills in the '60s, and the television movie business was just kind of like what people did. There was no walls up, and people, the big movie stars we didn't see, but television actors would be living up the street, and it was like regular jobs. You could walk to studios. I went to UCLA thinking I was going to be a lawyer, And I guess it was my junior year, I wanted to be a litigator. So somebody said, well, take an acting class, because that way you can get up and defend the world or whoever you're going to defend. And so I did that and really kind of liked it. And I got cast in a couple of plays and started doing stuff. I got a commercial agent, did some soap. I mean, it's kind of like, boy, this is $500 a day is better than going to school today. But I did end up graduating. So my parents were really proud of me for doing that. But really what started me on this whole thing is I became a tour guide at Universal Studios back in the late 70s.
I saw that in your bio.
Greatest
Let's pick up right there. We got to do a really short break. Sure. And you did it the smart way, Rocky. I went to law school to become an actor, and that didn't work out at all. So I think you were on the right track. Hey, Rex Sykes is here, and Rocky Wagenhurst, and we're talking about a really cool event they have going on tomorrow night with Mission 1 Billion. We'll tell you more about it after this very short break, folks. We're in the home stretch here. You've waited this long. Don't go anywhere. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
As Wisconsin has a fish fry on a Friday night, this is the Civic Media Radio Network. Download the Civic Media app in the Google.
Welcome back. Well, it's been a fun show. We got a few minutes left here. From the 818, Bridget says, the 1950s seems like a fun time. Music, clothes, identity. Couldn't agree more, Bridget from the 818. Great text. Thank you. We have a couple more minutes with our guests, Rex Sykes and Rocky Wagenhurst. Rocky, did you have to be an actor with a name like that?
Well, I really had no choice. I think that's kind of, But Rocky Wagenhurst always sounded like there was, if you went in for audition, it sounded like there was a lot of us that would be coming in,
Right,
like
pulling in the...
it's like we're going to come in juggling or something, but just a little bit, just because I know we want to promote tomorrow, and they're thinking, okay, great, you were a tour guide. Okay, if we want to get a tour guide job, but really, what I really talk about is how to be able to have both. Everybody always thinks, especially when they're young, well, I got to do it all, be all creative and do movies and be TV and be an actor for the rest of my life, or I can't. And really, I learned long ago, you can do as much or as little as you want. You can do both. You can have a life. You can have kids. You can, get married, have a house, have a mortgage, have a real life job, but work it so you can still do stuff. And then the more stuff you can do, then less of the other job you have to do. It's not all or nothing. And I've been able to do that all my life. I've got to be in movies, TV. I've done a radio show. I've done everything and still had a really nice career along the way. I think I've driven my wife a little crazy, and she still likes me after 37 years. But it's really, and that's what we'll talk about tomorrow about, I'm not going to teach you how to act or how to do anything. I can help you, teach you how to get a job, how to go about it, those kind of things in just about anything. And it's pretty applicable to everything. I always told Rex, I'm kind of like, Forrest Gump. I've met all these great people. I've been on sets with Spielberg and things, right? But I just never got, the Bubba Gump, shrimp. Whoever became a millionaire, obviously I'm still working, but that's okay. It's a lot of stuff. And I love more what people want to come and ask me about or tell me about them. Cause I already know what I know, but I'd love to hear people come out and share their ideas. And really it's more of that than it's going to be like, hey, let me talk for an hour and everybody take notes. That's not the way it works.
We've got a guy here who's an open book, folks. So if you are listening and you're in the Milwaukee area, check this out tonight because Rocky is very approachable. I know Rex is very approachable. We got a text too, Rocky, that said, Rocky, you like Ohtani. How can you not, right? I mean, our Brewers.
I don't care who you're rooting for. That was something
it's unbelievable.
Otherworldly on Friday night, so.
I listen, I love that you started as a tour guide too. We lived a mile from Universal for almost 15 years, and I took the kids there all the time. It was closer than Disneyland. Such a fun thing, and that's such a great story that you started there.
Rex, we'll talk about that tomorrow night if anybody wants to, but it was one of the greatest things. I got to talk, believe it or not, for hours and hours, and they paid me. It was amazing,
That tour is so much fun too. If you're a movie nut, I highly recommend it. Rex, you want to put a bow on tomorrow night before we let you guys go?
Yeah, I'm so thrilled that Rocky's going to talk. He is a wealth of information, and he does deliver on what he says he's going to do. So I can't be more grateful to him and to you because you do a great show and you're having us on, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I love you, my friend. And I would love you to come and talk to our group too sometime when you're not doing your show. We're going to have to figure out how to make that happen. But tomorrow night...
I'm going to need airfare. I'm going to need a per diem.
And we'll have the limo pick you up, and we'll have the fluffers and the whole thing. No worries.
What is a flight from Green Bay to Milwaukee? I don't know.
You need the rider, man. That's what it's all about.
But it is October 22nd. It's a Wednesday night, 7 p.m. It is called Schmitty's Bar and Grill. It is on 16755 West Lisbon Road in Brookfield, Wisconsin. It is open to the public. It is free. We say 7 o'clock, but we say come early, stay late. They got a great deal. Buy a $20 pizza and get a free pitcher of beer. So, a beer or soda, whatever you want, as a Wednesday night special for us. So, and we've got Rocky Wagenhurst who's going to speak to us. And we've got a great group of people. What we've done is we have this educational component, which is like having speakers like Rocky, and Michael, and others. We've got someone from SAG coming in either the end of this year or the first quarter of next year to talk about what it means to make your movie SAG and how you can do that. And but we also have projects that we do. We do collaborative projects. We just did recently a small commercial for some people that we put together a funny thing. So it's a very active group. It's a networking group, and I encourage everyone to come on out who can hear this, who sees this. And look us up. We're Mission 1 Billion. It's a private group on Facebook. It's a public group on LinkedIn. But I've told you everything you need to know to be there tomorrow if you're in the Wisconsin area, the Chicago area, and you want to come up and join us. Absolutely open to the public for this event, and it's free. We've got Rocky Wagenhurst.
Definitely buy Rocky a pitcher of beer and loosen him up, and he'll tell you all the secrets about show business.
I will tell you everything, and I'll stay until there's nobody left. I love chatting, I
that's great.
Do it that often. So anybody wants to come, I can't wait to see him and talk to him, and I'll tell him everything I know.
Rocky, it's been great meeting you. Rex, great seeing you again, buddy. Good luck with the event tomorrow, guys. Thanks for spending some time with us here, and hopefully we can help you get some butts in the seat. Have a great time.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Actually, Rocky is my guest on Rex Sykes Movie Beat. We recorded an episode. We're launching it now. We didn't want to do it too premature to the event, but so if people want to subscribe, it's free to subscribe to Rex Sykes Movie Beat on Spotify. They can also hear Rocky there.
Outstanding. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night and have a lot of fun tomorrow night. Sounds like a blast.
Thank you,
You
Pete.
got
Thank
it.
you so much.
All right. Rocky Wagenhurst and Rex Sykes. Go to the event tomorrow. You going to go, Con? They're not giving you airfare. You got to get yourself there, which is kind of a jip, but whatever.
Yeah, I wish I could make it, but we'll have to find a different producer in maybe.
No, we got someone lined up. No, no, it sounds like a lot of fun. You already know everything too. What are you going to learn? You know your job, but if you went, you'd probably learn like a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah. Hey, we got a Steady Eddie text. We got to wrap up the show with.
Do I have time to read it? I'm going to go fast. Steady Eddie. Anyone who says a name or word should be pronounced in only one way lacks creativity and imagination. People say two of Albert Einstein's greatest attributes were his imagination and creativity. Ergo, you, Pete, may just be the next Einstein. I agree, Eddie. Thank you, sir. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to my guests. Thanks to all the texts. Thanks to Jimmy Pardo. Have a great night, everybody. Good night, Wisconsin.